Welcome to another episode of the Office Altering Hire and Empower with Molly McGrath podcast. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. If you're a first-time listener, hopefully you'll become a long-time listener. As always, I'm your show host, Molly McGrath, founder of Hiring and Empowering Solutions and creator of this revolutionary podcast. You can check us out at hiringandempowering.com. All right, guys, girls, gang, team members, marketing coordinators, and attorneys alike. What do you think about this subject? Attorney referral fees. I cannot wait to look at my analytics because y'all know that I am a lunatic about looking at my analytics to see what the open rate and the click-through rate and the download rate and how long y'all listened to this episode today with this conversation, this naming convention entitled called Attorney Referral Fees, because attorneys are always like, you can't do that in my state. That's practicing mail. This conversation is going to be a good one today because we are going to hopefully shift your perspective. And today's guest that I have with me, I'm so excited. I want you to go to overture.law. So we're going to have it in the show notes for you as well to look at the model, but we are going to talk today about shifting your perspective and get out of that stinking thinking old school mentality around attorney referral. And yes, we are talking about attorney referral fees. So I'm super excited about my guest today, Arya. I'm so delighted to have you here. You're going to crack some skulls, right?
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
It's a pretty risky topic.
You know what? Being a lawyer is a risky profession to be in. But all jokes aside, referral fees, are what we do, and helping attorneys unlock that potential in their practices is what we've found a living doing. But it's something that's been around for a long time. We're just helping uncover that, I guess, for folks.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your backstory and why you're so passionate about this conversation.
Sure. So my story starts in the plaintiff's world. I was originally doing a lot of insurance bad faith, and I started a company with Kurt Brown, a buddy of mine from law school, and Brian Liu, who started LegalZoom back in 2000. The three of us have been working together for 7 years, but the story started originally in the plaintiff's world. We were referring cases throughout the country and generating referral fees. And that's where we started to really understand the nuances of referral fees at scale and working with all 50 states. And we ended up going back into the business world and starting another company called Biz Counsel, which provides affordable legal services for small businesses, and built that company up to service thousands of businesses across the country. And the truth is, I think our story would have stopped there if we all didn't experience what we did over the last few years. And we saw our clients spread out all over the country, have needs that we just couldn't service anymore. And we asked our colleagues, hey, are you guys experiencing this too? And no matter what area of law we asked, whether it was estate planning, they would say, yeah, we have people who moved during the pandemic and now they have property in multiple states. And you have businesses who now have operations all over and they have employees in 6 different states. So the issues become more challenging. And these solo and small firm attorneys we were working with didn't have a home for these clients, couldn't monetize those clients any longer. And so we said, listen, why don't we bring our two knowledge bases together of the business side, independent small firm side, with what we've known about referral fees from the plaintiff's world, and build a platform that makes it easy to refer to other great attorneys and generate referral fees. So that's how Overture came about. It was honestly pure chance, and I think just the market conditions forced our hand to build what Overture became.
So talk to us. You typically have, we were talking before we recorded, a visceral kind of violent response, if you will, when you talk about this, or people that are saying, wow, thank you for building this platform on technology to make it really incredibly easy for us, for our teams, for people that are answering the phones to really be able to track and measure this. So talk about the first one. What are some of the responses you get about, well, you can't share fees.
Well, I think that's the normal response, and I think it's the correct response, right? We as attorneys can't share fees with non-attorneys. That's been the rule since the beginning of time. But it's also been the rule that you can ethically share fees with other attorneys if you do the right things and have the right client disclosures. And that's the part that gets missed a lot, right? And when people start realizing that the ABA has rules on this, most states follow the ABA rule. Some states have variations of that rule. So every state allows you to ethically share fees with other attorneys. And it's actually a great thing because it helps ensure that the client always finds a home for something that comes along their way, right? We know from all the CLIA reports that most clients find attorneys from attorneys they know. They'll ask them for a referral. And so what better way to find that client a great home, get that thank you from the client to say, thanks so much for referring me to so-and-so who was great, and allow you to still be able to monetize that referral along the way. That's the goal that we're building. But the truth is, Molly, we're not doing anything new. Big, large firms have been doing this for even longer than decades. They just call it something different. They call it client origination fees, matter origination fees. So we're giving solo, small firm attorneys that same power to be able to tell their client, I don't practice real estate law in Des Moines, but I'm going to find you somebody great who can. That's what large partners at large firms do with their clients. They grab that client and they hold on to them for life for whatever that client may need.
So what does that process look like for, all right, I'm on board with this. I love your spin on the language and making certain that we are not violating anything. What does it look like? I get a family law referral. I am a member of your platform. Tell me a little bit about, walk us through how this all works.
Yeah, so we built this for ourselves and how we would want to use it, right? So you would post the referral to the platform. Other attorneys who happen to do that area of law in that state will get notified by email that, hey, this is a referral that may be of interest to you. If it is, then they can respond to you and say, hey, Molly, this is something that I've experienced and I've done this for 20 years. And then it's up to you. You can chat with them. We have chat tools on the platform. You can view their profile, see their background, schooling, client reviews, peer reviews. Introduce your client if you choose to, but ultimately it's up to you to select the right attorney that you think fits your client, right? So we gave all the power to the referring attorney, as you do outside of Overture. And once you make that connection, then we work with the handling attorney to sign that client on the platform with the necessary disclosures for the state and the matter at issue to ensure that we can ethically share in fees. That's part of our challenges. We step in with a lot of the tech that happens after that referral is made.
And so for what I love about that, as you're painting this picture, we all know client services, marketing coordinators, intake coordinators, receptionists are getting the phone call, right? And if they're protecting the attorney's time, if I hear you right, they could log into the portal and actually go to the platform and let everyone know I'm with ABC Estate Planning Law Firm. I'm a member in Denver, Colorado. On this platform, is there somebody who does elder abuse or whatever it might be? They see it. Now the attorney, if I'm hearing you correctly, because what I see is attorneys are going in these Facebook groups constantly.
Yep.
Is there a family law attorney here? Is there what have you? Well, I might post it, and it's interesting. I watch this all the time. Most of them are posting at 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. But then you check the box that you handled it, but now you're in back to client meetings. And now you got to go back in this Facebook group and start, and there might be 15 people that responded.
Yep.
Oh, I do it. They might do 2% of it, 10% of it. They might be a general practitioner that's like, oh crap, I have no money in the bank. Sure, I do that. And then they got to manage and facilitate all that and dig through these 5 different Facebook groups that they put the message in, right?
It's tough. I'm part of those Facebook groups too. It's just interesting to see how that all works. We've built Overture to be attorney to attorney because we found attorneys want to chat with other attorneys directly. Now, our job was to streamline that so it was better than that Facebook group experience. But to your point, the worst of the scenarios is you say, hey, I need a family law attorney in this state, and someone tags somebody else that has no idea what's going on. They show up, and now it's on you to vet all these attorneys, to call 30 people that respond to you. None of those people are going to get back to you because they have their own practices and their own lives. And so you spend so much time on this referral that most people, the next time, they just tell their client, I can't help you. I don't know anyone who does family law.
Yes.
And it's a shame because they're coming to you because you're their advisor. They know that you may not do X, but they want to hear, no, I don't do that, but let me find someone great who can. And so what we wanted to do is build a world where everyone understood, hey, responsiveness is key. And because these are attorney to attorney referrals, these are clients that any one of us would have taken, but for not my area of law, not my state. This isn't a place for leads or voicemails that come your way. These are clients that you say, hey, these are legitimate matters. I just can't service it. And because of that quality, we've asked everyone to be extremely responsive, and it's not that hard to see that that's happening because they know that the quality's high. This isn't a place where people are just dumping things that they can't service. These are clients that they wish they could have taken. And so those connections you see happen very fast, and everyone has an understanding of how the platform works, where I think one of my proudest moments was to see a referral come in on a Friday morning. This was in the early days. I'll never forget it. They got 3 responses by noon. And I said, well, off to next week. And I saw that it was signed up by 4 p.m. on a Friday. I mean, that experience for the referring attorney, the handling attorney, and even more so, the client is fantastic. I mean, they contacted someone on a Friday morning. They said, hey, I need help with this. And to be signed up by Friday afternoon, they can enjoy their whole weekend knowing that they're going to be taken care of next week. That experience is probably hard to replicate from these Facebook groups when there's 33 people who responded to a referral request.
Absolutely. And to your point, I love that you ended that where they're like, I can't go through this. I'm not a project manager. I don't have time for this. So it's easier to just say, we don't do that type of work, which ultimately, who really suffers from that? The client, because they're going to go somewhere, and whoever the first person that picks up their phone call, which may not have been the best, which brings me to your point. What I love about this is it gives you one-stop shop. You can go in there and post it, but also, if I understand correctly, with this application process, you all vet who you allow into, right? Is that correct?
No, it's 100% correct. I mean, the difference is we didn't build this because we thought it was a cool idea. We built this because we needed this. And in the early days, we built this for my firm and our friends and family and the attorneys who help us service the clients at Biz Counsel. That was the beginning of this. We built this tool for ourselves. And so when we went to expand it, we said, what do we look for in people, right? So we have the application. That's the easy stuff that we can do in terms of the offline review. How many years you've been in practice, any bar complaints, positive client reviews. But then we have an in-person, or rather video interview. That's the world that we're in, with our membership team. And the purpose of that is to see, are you somebody that we would recommend our friends and family to? Are you somebody who's responsive? Are you somebody who's client-centric? Are you somebody that shows up at the meeting time, or do you show up 22 minutes late? Are you somebody who's passionate about customer service, or do you treat our clients as necessary evils that you have to put up with? Because if you're not confident in the members that are in it, you're not going to post a referral, a trusted client of yours from 10 years that you've been working with from LA to Miami, unless you know the people are cut from the same cloth that you are. And so building the platform, and I think the tech that we've built is really, really cool, both from the referral process to even direct depositing of referral fees. But it's nothing without the people that are in it. And as much as my team begs me to not be on onboarding calls and not be in the interviews, that's my favorite part, because I get to talk to these people and share the vision of what we're trying to do. And it's inspiring hearing what attorneys are up to and how they've cut their corner out in this world.
Great. So you answer my next question. Go through the application process, and it sounds like you go through a pretty lengthy interview process to make certain that the person can walk their talk.
Yeah, we try not to take too much of any one attorney's time. We know how busy everyone is, but we spend about 30 minutes or so just going through you. And we've done all the offline review part. Now it's time to have that in-person interview. And And after that, we go through all the applications with our membership team and see who makes sense to join. And as you know, there's no cost to join Overture. It's a voluntary group of people who want to be here, who believe in this future of working together with other great independent attorneys and being able to find homes for their clients when they can't service them, monetize them along the way. That's the goal that binds us all together. There's nothing more than that. And so once they're accepted, then we show them the platform from A to Z so that they have a full understanding of how to use it. And to your point, the next time that they have that referral at 10 p.m., they can post it and have a handful of great responses by the next morning, rather than 33 people who've tagged 22 other people.
In 5 different Facebook groups, which is funny because attorneys by and large don't really love social media and spending their time on there. All right. So answer me this. What makes for a hard no? You're not getting into the family of referrals.
That's I don't want to give away the secret sauce, but it's not really that secret. If you show up to the call and we talk about clients and it just truly sounds like you hate what you're doing and you're doing this because someone pushed you into law and you don't really remember that we are in customer service. We are in the customer service world. And it's very evident that people who don't believe that and understand that and embody that, you can feel that in a 5-minute video call. It doesn't take very long. And that's why we do that, because it's impossible to, everyone's website looks beautiful. It's hard to say who fits the mold of what we're looking for. That's the easiest one. I guess the qualifier, of course, if people are late to calls. In the thousands of small businesses that we've serviced at Biz Council, you'd be shocked, or maybe you wouldn't be shocked to know that 99% of the issues we had was just, hey, the attorney told me, call me at 3, it's 4:30. Hey, the attorney said that he was going to send me this email. He never did. He promised me X, he never did it. It's the soft factors that are the difference between an attorney loving you and being a client for life versus never calling you again. And it's amazing how it's not a fundamental part of our training and our education. We learn the law so well. We spend weeks on consideration, but no one teaches us, hey, we're in customer service. What are the tenets of that? How do we become more than just attorneys, but advisors to our clients?
That is amazing right there. Attorney listeners, and for the team members that are listening, bring this to your attorney. That is the biggest. I love that you follow everything that I preach in regards to that, because I follow the same model as well. And for attorneys that are going to get into your network, that's very refreshing, right? A lot of times I hear, I don't make referrals anymore because I have no idea what's going to happen to my client once they get, for these very reasons. They don't reply. Back in the late 90s, we did a survey when I owned a national organization for estate planning attorneys. And we did a survey with clients. 77 law firms had to go ask every one of their existing and past clients one question and one question only, and their referral sources. What is your greatest frustration with working with attorneys? 100% came back and said that they don't follow up.
Yeah.
Not that they're too expensive, not that they're arrogant, not that the things that, you hear in all the lawyer jokes. No, it was that they don't follow up. They don't.
Yep.
And so if they're not going to follow up with me, what in the world's going to happen with my file once I hire them?
It's amazing. Most attorneys are so focused on the legal work, but they don't realize that very few clients are ever saying, hey, this independent contractor agreement is deficient. That's not where the problems arise. It's in the client communication. It's the bedside manner. It's the same in medicine. And to take us to another field, there's been tons and tons of studies where these doctors can have so many, they can actually do the wrong thing, but if their bedside manner is warm, understanding, caring of the client, they are so much more likely to avoid any issues. And it's just such an amazing thing to think about. We're so focused on the legal work, but we spend so little time on ensuring that the client feels good in this process. They feel cared for, they feel understood at a very vulnerable point in their lives. A lot of times, no one wants to work with an attorney. It's something they have to do. And if we can make them feel like, hey, they're being taken care of, a lot of times you'll have a client for life.
Yeah, I love it. You say that nobody wants to work with an attorney initially, and
Initially.
then but they have to, right? And so you engage an attorney and then you get an experience like this, and you will never do anything in life without an attorney. So if I hire you and get this experience for real estate or what have you, and now you talk to me about estate planning and refer me to somebody who acts, behaves, operates the way that my law firm does, no question. Yeah, I'll write you $5,000 for a trust. Not a question, because I'm not going to legal Zoom or going and doing it on my own because of that compassion driven counsel and care.
You're right. You're right. And that's one thing that's very interesting is some of the savvier lawyers on our group really have embraced that and understanding that I'm a real estate attorney, but clients have issues outside of real estate every single day. And if I can leave them with a positive experience, they're going to keep coming back to me with all these different things, and I can be their vessel to connect them with the right counsel to assist with their specific need.
Yeah. All right. So I get in there. So right now you're already making it so much easier. You're telling me I don't have to go to 10 million different Facebook groups for referrals. Number one. Number two, I don't have to vet them when they come because you've already handled that. All right. So I find my person at 4 o'clock on a Friday, an engagement. Now what happens? Talk to me about once you make the match, if you will, and I
Sure.
find tell me how that works.
Sure, sure. So if you're the referring attorney, you can go enjoy your weekend. Your job is done on that front. So our job is helping the potential handling attorney sign the client, right? So once the handling attorney's reached out, made connection with the client says, "Hey, let's move forward." We ask that the handling attorney upload their engagement agreement as is. We don't make any modifications to how you sign the client. The only thing that we ask you to do is upload it to our system so we can add an addendum to it. And it's just a one-page addendum that has the necessary disclosures per the state that everyone's in to assure that we can ethically share in fees. Without that disclosure, we can't move a dollar. No one can ethically share in fees without those disclosures. So when you upload it to our system, we automatically attach that addendum. The system generates it, and you can send it out as a package for the client signature. If you're somebody who wants a retainer request, Overture is a law firm. That's what allows us to ethically share in fees with everybody. That's the benefit of all of us going to law school. And we've built very, very simple billing tools on the platform so that you could send out retainer requests, you can invoice the client all through our system. And attorneys always ask me, "Hey, why did you build these billing tools?" And it's not because we wanted to, trust me. We needed to have transparency, right? Because you're referring the client from LA to Miami. We're that trusted source that connects everybody together. So whether you're referring a matter that's $5,000 or $50,000 or $100,000, you needed us as that central source to always have a good understanding of what's going on. And especially with the movement to money, we wanted to make sure everything was done perfectly above board. So all the money comes to us as it's billed to the client. And if once the client is invoiced and we're taking that invoice and dispersing it, everyone's bank accounts are linked up. So we can direct deposit the referring attorney's percentage to their bank account and the handling attorney's percentage to their bank account, move on to the next transaction. Full transparency on everyone's side as to what's going on at all times. This comes from our plaintiff's experience. Sorry to cut you off, Molly. There's no transparency in the referral fee world there. That's where everyone's used to referral fees, is from the plaintiff's world. We didn't want to replicate that experience for Overture members, especially in the hourly and flat fee world where bills and invoices are being paid. We could have so much more control and give so much more insight to our members.
Yeah, control, clarity, all that. And what I love, right from the time of matching the attorneys, if you will, for a lack of a better term, do I hear you correctly that because they're on your platform within your network, that you all will help support and follow through until the time of engagement for the client?
Yeah, so we tend to get as involved as the attorneys want us to be. Sometimes
Yeah.
the attorneys say, "Hey, can you help out with this connection?" Sometimes they want us to help on the back end. "Hey, can we send this invoice out like this?" It's a completely automated system, but at the same time, there's people here to help move that process along wherever you want that help. So everyone has their own style. And so we built a lot of flexibility for attorneys to do things the way that they want still.
Yeah, but even if I'm on vacation or I'm driving to the soccer game or it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, I can go in there and like, gosh, I don't remember when I sent that client to Miami, and you can look in the platform and see it was July 31st or it
Yeah.
was August 2nd, or where is it at? And there's a whole tracking of that. Correct?
Exactly. And every invoice that you've sent that client to Miami to, once that attorney in Miami is invoicing the client, every time that invoice gets paid, you also get a direct deposit as well. So you're gonna see those come directly to your bank account, and that becomes great because you're able to build passive revenue, which is something attorneys just don't think about, especially at solo small firms. You make money when you do the work. There's no such thing as passive revenue. And so allowing solo small firms to have that same potential that frankly big law partners have, and that's how they make most of their money, is bringing in clients and connecting them to the right attorney to assist them at their firm. That's the same thing we're doing for solo small firms as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. In the digital and the marketing and the coaching and the course creation world, they use this term affiliate marketing
Yeah.
out there, and they have a complete revenue, like has its own line item in regards to their projections and goals. And I
Yeah.
love that. Another book that I'm a huge fan of is The Membership Economy, for anyone, to attorneys. If you are stuck in the Stone Ages, if you will, and you're not really embracing this, I mean, now is the time. This is not going away. People are not going to stop moving.
Yeah.
They are more than ever and relocating. And if you want somebody to think of you forever, when I don't believe clients think, oh, well, I can't call Bob Smith in Colorado. I'm moving to California because he's not licensed to practice in California. They don't know that. They don't understand that, but you gave them this great experience. So every time their kid gets a DUI, every time someone gets locked up in jail, I'm thinking, divorce, whatever it might be, death, disability, they're going to call you because of that. You're their trusted advisor, hopefully forever, right?
Yeah, you said DUI. It reminded me of a great story. I just last week, I had an attorney who does wills and trusts in Chicago. He had a friend in California get a DUI, and that's what kickstarted my memory. And he posted it on Overture, found an attorney on there who said he's been doing DUI defense for 20 years, and he knows every judge that possibly could come about at this courthouse. So he's the perfect fit. He passed the client along, and this wills and trust attorney in Chicago, sent me an email and said, not only is the client thrilled, he's going to buy me dinner because he loved that attorney so much. He was so thankful for that recommendation that he wouldn't have been able to find on his own. And he obviously got a referral fee out of it. So he was doubly happy. So that's the world that we want to build. It's not a win-lose with Overture. The goal is to build win-win-win. Everybody wins. Everybody is able to work together for better outcomes for clients and attorneys alike.
You know what I love about what you just said? Because so often people say, I don't need a referral fee. I don't care about that, what have you. But going through your platform I'm just thinking of this, makes you think of it as an entrepreneur first and foremost. So it's my best buddy, right? I'm not going to take a referral fee from my best buddy. But however, if you make it so simplistic that you go one-stop shop, go to your platform, you do whatever you want with that referral fee. You want to take your buddy on a vacation once he gets off on clearing, go for it. Do whatever you want for it. But the headache and the heartache that you're taking off of the client experience, number one, your job as a friend, like think about it. If it's your buddy, I'm just thinking that if it was my buddy, I'd say, oh, I'll go find someone. You're going to be posting in 700 different social media groups. Now you got yourself a part-time job trying to find your buddy, an attorney, and the story goes. So for those of you, I know for my helping attorneys who are doing it with your servant heart, do what you want with the referral fee when you get it, right?
Yeah, no, you're free to do what you want. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not something new. It's the same thing that big firms are doing. We're just unlocking that potential in solo and small firms. But to the client, they say, listen, I was able to get a great home, and I'm willing to pay whatever the hourly rate was anyways. How you guys divvy it up is your choice. And it's funny, you said I don't want to get a referral fee from a friend of mine. I found that attorneys who refer work to each other consistently, everyone says that, hey, that's fine. You send me work and I'll get work from you. But the truth is always a little bit more complicated. One of the attorneys will always say, well, I sent them 10 big things this year. They didn't send me anything. And so this way, you don't have to worry about that. Whatever you send them, whatever they send you, it's completely square and even, and no one has to worry about that. So it's funny that whenever you jog my memory of attorneys who say, well, we share referrals, but it's always one attorney always feels like they're either giving more or taking more. So this makes it a little bit more even.
Absolutely. And you know that they're getting the right attorney. They're getting the best attorney to work for, and you don't have to worry about that at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. And it's every week, it only gets better. Most of our weeks are limited by the amount of time that we could spend having conversations with attorneys and getting them on the platform. So every single week, I tell people it gets better and better and better. And the goal is to be able to get you, that one attorney who does some unique area of law in some unique part of the country by noon. That's the goal that we're trying to get to. Are we there yet? No, but it takes every attorney adds to that goal of what we're trying to get to. And it helps everybody better serve their clients once we get there.
All right. So walk us through. I'm intrigued. I'm listening to this. What's the next steps in your process to learn more?
Yeah, so seeing is believing, and I know that as an attorney myself. So if you're an attorney listening to this and it's something that's of interest to you, you can go to overture.law. You can sign up for free. You can create a limited account just with your name and email, and you can see the platform, see it in action, see how referrals move, see how other folks are interacting with each other. And if it's of interest to you, then you can fill out our short questionnaire and apply from there. So that's how every single member comes through the platform. I wanted them to see what's really here. I know that us as attorneys, there's probably a couple of emails in my inbox right now from someone promising me cases and that they can get me. And we wanted to just build this great community and fill it with great attorneys. And there's nothing more than that. So if it's of interest to you, go ahead, create an account, and hopefully we'll chat with you shortly.
I love that you do that they can see, touch, and feel it before they complete the application. That's very unique, especially within, the online world. So thank you for doing that.
It's our pleasure. Exactly.
All right, listeners, listen. My marketing coordinators, my client service coordinators, my intake coordinators, I see this every single day, and you're in the law firm admin bootcamp and in your weekly reporting. In the weekly reporting, we have a line item for referred out, what you've referred out, what's been referred in, and I cannot tell you, I had a call with someone this morning, 11 new matters in 1 week. They weren't matters, they were prospective new clients that they put cannot help, cannot serve. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You all want bonuses. You all want growth. This could be the one area of the marketing plan that you can manage for your attorney. Stop letting them leave money on the table and spend hours and hours in these Facebook groups going on a witch hunt for somebody to support their friends, families, and clients. Thank you so much for being our guest today. I'm like always constantly, when I look at weekly reporting metrics, I'm like, you told 11 people you couldn't help them. And what did you tell them? I just told them we don't do that type of law. I'm like, no, stop it.
I couldn't say it better myself. That's exactly the problem that we're trying to solve. Happy clients will, if you can help them find a great home, will be happy clients for life. So I couldn't have said it better. Thanks again for having me, Molly. It was a pleasure. We could chat for 2 hours on this, but I think we should cut it at some point.
All right. Thank you. Until next time, go out and continue being legal leaders, leading legal leaders. We've reached the end of yet another episode of the Hire and Empower with Molly McGrath podcast, where dream teams of entrepreneurs in an entrepreneur's world really do come true. Listen, whether you're a business owner, employee, executive, or hiring manager, we fully understand hiring, onboarding, and leadership is expensive, exhausting, often overwhelming, and absolutely time-consuming for the already taxed professional. Well, we have your back on all fronts. For 25 years and counting, we have transformed over 4,000 law firm teams into the most efficient, resourceful, and profitable asset of your business. Check out our Smart Hire solution, our employee leadership program, and the 66-day law firm turnaround at hiringandempowering.com.